Hey everybody, this is Pastor Dustin recording for TeamNerdChurch.com. I just got the computer redone here, so I might be having some issues with the sound, so if I do, I'll end up having to record over this, and it'll be kind of weird. But anyway, here we go. Doing a 4-3-2-2, and I open up with an N hostilities, which is pretty impressive. I think it's the most impressive thing here, so I'm going to go ahead and reserve it. Because I'm having so many difficulties with the mic, I'm just going to try to swallow it here and see if that works. I've also got Burn Away, which is solid removal, but not a board wipe. Jeskai Charm, which is good, but you try to avoid going 3 colors. And then other than that, I don't know, maybe a Hate Blade or something like that, but nothing matches the raw power of just going straight into the end hostilities. So I am going to pick that up and hope to be in white. Okay, coming around, what do we have? We've got another Burn Away for more removal, which I am a sucker for. What else? Got a reasonable morph. A warrior if I wanted to go into the black-white warriors deck and then have end hostilities on the end of it. I don't know how good that would be. And then just another kind of reasonable morph. I don't know. These are kind of questionable. I guess I could take the red one and then just hope to end up Mardu with a lot of removal. I suppose that this is... Well, no, I've got Mystic of the Hidden Way. I don't know why I didn't see that before. Okay, so Mystic of the Hidden Way gets a lot of work done. And then that tilts me towards Jeskai. So I think that that's the direction I go here. Yeah, we're going to go with Mystic of the Hidden Way. I'm leaving the Warrior plan behind, as well as my all-time favorite, just take all of the removal humanly possible. Although it is really... It hurts deeply to not take this Burn Away, but I'm going to take this Unblockable Mystic. Alright, so now that I've gone white and blue, what do we have? We've got a white-black land, which doesn't really support any of the official colors. Got a Bear's Companion, which doesn't do a whole lot for me. Got an Erase for the sideboard. A Kill Shot's a decent pick. I hate to use it third, though. I've got 2... reasonable removal spells. I also have a Monastery Flock, which isn't too bad if I'm trying to get some sort of like grindy or get him to commit a whole bunch to the board before I got into hostilities. Just hate to pick a Monastery Flock third pick. I mean, that's janky. You know, I do have a Swiftwater Cliffs here, and that is going to enable me to set up a Jeskai move. So I'm going to pick a red source even before I have red cards to play. And just go with a Swiftwater Cliffs. Okay, so that rewards me with a Jeskai card. That's cool. So we'll reserve that. This gets an awful lot of damage through. You can get him through for an extra 2 if they don't block it, or usually kill whatever they do block it with, and then pump the Mystic is pretty good. Other than that, there's nothing that... well, there is a Force Away, which is pretty good. Barrage of Boulders usually wheels. Jeskai Student is okay, but I think the clear pick here is the Weapon Master, and that also keeps both of my creatures as morphs. Keeping the mystery going. Okay, so coming around. Got a Rough Rider, not worth splashing at the moment. Leaping Master can be okay. Mardu Hate Blade, probably not going to splash just to get that activation. Savage Punch outside of the colors. So I guess it's either a Leaping Master or a War Behemoth. Well, the Leaping Master gets me evasion, along with the Hidden Mystic. That could be okay. The War Behemoth just another thing to disguise all of your better morphs. I don't know. None of these really seem spectacular. I feel like I'm kind of picking a weaker card in general here, so maybe just taking the Leaping Master. I don't have any 2-drops yet, so that'll be my 2, and I'll stay away from the War Behemoth. Okay, so here's a late Kintry Invocation. I've got Secret Plans, which is none of my colors. I've got a Tranquil Grove, which helps me to smooth out my curve a little bit. And I think that's pretty much it. This doesn't really seem like a scheming kind of deck, and nor am I that desperate for 2-drops that I'm going to pick up a Sandbar here. So we're just going to go with the Mana Fixing and get Tranquil Cove. Oh, here we go. Here's some more Mana Fixing. Reserve that. Other than that, we've got just an OK morph. Defiant Strike for cycling and Weave Fate. Maybe I want to Weave Fate in this deck, but I'm pretty sure that I can get one coming around late. So I am just going to stick with my Jeskai lands and get that Crag. Okay, so here we've got a subpar morph or Siegecraft, so I guess that it's the subpar morph. Oof. I wonder if I'm in the wrong colors here. This is looking pretty empty for me late. I've got, these three are very quality. The lands are quality. I would say that the Leaping Master is the only one that's just kind of an iffy one. I guess now I have two iffy ones. But it's a morph. You can always excuse those just as disguising your decent ones. Alright, so let's see. Is there any Jeskai left in this next pack? Would you look at that? The Jeskai charm's here. Alright, well, I passed on it early. And if you love it, let it go. If it's meant to be, it'll come back to you. And here it is. So pick up the Jeskai charm. Really is the only thing that I'd be excited about. I don't think I have anything for this Rush of Battle to go with. So we are picking up the charm. I actually feel like that's a very good sign that nobody is Jeskai. Maybe it was just kind of a weird pack, the last one, or maybe people are dipping into the colors, but it's just not specifically Jeskai. But I'm pretty happy to see that come back around as my 9th pick. Alright, so far we've got 3 perfectly good lands, generally high power level. And here, nothing that impressive. I guess I just go with the morph. Okay, here we've got, see, Trailblazer. Doesn't really look like this is the Trailblazer kind of deck. Got a Bloodfire Mentor, that could be okay. And an Erase. I suppose the Bloodfire Mentor is probably the best thing here. I still don't think that I play it, but I'll pick that up. Let's see, Mardu Banner. It's got a couple of my, I don't know, maybe Briber's Purse. I guess I like that in my sideboard, probably to stay in my sideboard. Embodiment of Spring is unusable. Probably not playing Swift Kick. Probably also not playing Scheming. I will play the Mountain, but for now it's going to sit in my sideboard. Okay, hey, get over there on my sideboard. What are you doing? Okay. So after the first one, we've got, oh, Mantis Rider, are you kidding me? Bam, Windmill Slam. Reserve, just so we can take a look to see what might wheel. I'd be happy to see a Feat of Resistance, a Crag, maybe even a Weave Fate. I might be reasonably okay to see. Got a Mardu Horde Chief. We'll get something good. But anyway, Mantis Rider is exactly where we want to be. So I'm going to Windmill Slam that Mantis Rider and pause to let the next guy take his. Alright, well, I can't complain here because I do have a Feat of Resistance. So I'm going to reserve that. Other than that, there's pretty much nothing. I don't think I'm going to wheel anything from this that's even worth talking about. Yeah, I think like all the things that I would wheel here, even just things in my color in general, are not going to make the cut. So I'm going to take this Feat of Resistance and be happy to get that out of it, and just take the highest power level card whenever it wheels to kind of hate draft out a little bit. Alright, so I've got 7 creatures, 3 others, which is pretty good for me. I'm not going overboard on the removal. Not a land that I really need. It's like the anti-land for me. What do we see? What do we see? We see little to nothing. Man, this is bad. I guess it's just another War Behemoth. Just kind of got bad lucks on these next packs, so it balances out the Mantis Rider. There is... This is the only card in white. Not really a Scheming deck or a Whirlwind Adept deck. That just has a hard time getting through. Although I guess that could be decent after you wrath the board, perhaps. I don't know, I think most of the time it's pretty bad. And then there's nothing really in red. The Swift Kick's pretty bad. I mean, I could, like, pick up Ponyback Brigade, just in case I end up splashing black. I don't know. I don't think anybody wins there. Of course, if I splash black, I could get some Chiefs in there, because the Chiefs have been going around pretty hard. But I do have a Weapon Master. So we're going to pick up the Weapon Master and not really see a whole lot else that I'm sad to see go. There's a Stubborn Denial here that gets tripped from the Weapon Masters. I don't think I have anything else that triggers the Ferocious. Ferocious was the last pack. Okay, yeah. So we'll pick up a second copy of the Weapon Master and be happy about it. Okay, so the Soothsayer is going around pretty late. Do have one Treasure Cruise here, which could be decent. I do think this is probably a deck that wants to play one copy of Treasure Cruise if you're going to get to that late game, wrath the board, and be able to refill your hand. So we could Treasure Cruise, Alabaster Kieran, or Disdainful Stroke. Well, I don't have a whole lot in my 4-drop slot, so I think actually Kieran is the correct pick. I'll probably see one of these two come back around, right? Although there's some pretty bad stuff in here, so maybe not. But I'm still going to pick up the solid creature. Here's another one of those picks where there's just not that much that really excites me. I'm going to pick up the Disdainful Stroke. I am going to put it in the sideboard. I'm not positive that that's a main board card. I've got Winterflame in here. That's pretty good. I've also got Bringlow. I'll say Winterflame is better. You get that 2-for-1 in there. Also got a Wind Scout, which is pretty decent. Okay, so we're going to reserve that. Other than just the one end hostilities, I don't think that I have spot removal, which is weird for me. So this is going to be, I don't exactly know what spot this is. This is like a semi-tempo-y, wait for the control thing to happen sort of deck right now. Get the raw power of Mantis Rider and Jeskai Charm. So yeah, I guess you just go with Winterflame. It's good stall in case you're trying to get to the end hostilities. And this one right here is Red My Colors. If you don't see it played with a lot, when it comes into the battlefield, return target non-creature, non-land card from your graveyard to your hand. Right now I've got 4 of those, so that's good enough to pick. Other than that, Monastery Flock, which I would like to pick up later, I think, but for right now, we'll go with the 5-drop. Yeah, I think this is the pack before where I said there wasn't anything that I would be that excited to pick up. I stand by that. I think Raider Spoils is just the strongest card that I want to get out of the pool. Okay, so here, I think I just pick up Bloodfell Caves just in case I end up wanting to splash black for something, like that Raider Spoils that nobody got. Here, I guess Jeskai Banner in case I'm short on playables. Then, no, nobody wants the Abs Band. Man, I've got too many of these War Behemoths. That one's going straight to the board. Oof. Alright, well, you can't win them all, right? So I have got 18 cards that I would not be too ashamed to play. 3 of them are lands, that's 15. Okay, so I'm still in a good position going into this last pack. So let's see what we open. Okay, well we do open up a little bit of money. We've got Bloodstained Mire. I don't know, that's like 2 or 3 ticks. But in addition to just being a couple of tickets, that now gives me 2 black sources if I want to go black. There's not too much else here for me. I've got a Warname Aspirant. That's pretty much it. So I don't feel really that bad about the money draft here. We're just going to go with the Bloodstained Mire. And it's not a definite black... Oh, Crackling Doom? Oh, see, this is what makes me want to splash black now. Okay, so we got Crackling Doom. This is the 2 birds in the proverbial bush, and this is the 1 bird in the proverbial hand. So do you stick with Arrow Storm, which I'm definitely going to play, or Crackling Doom, which is better? And I would have to, let's say, play 1, 2, 3. That's 3 black sources. That's not so bad, and I can probably pick up some later. Alright, I'm going to get greedy and go with the 4th color, Crackling Doom. Yeah. Other than the Arrow Storm? This is greedy. This is greedy, greedy, greedy. Yeah, I'm still going to pick it. I'm sorry. The comment section, let me know. Should I have really gone for the Arrow Storm? Was that the correct move? Okay, so here I do get another chance at some spot removal. And the burn away is a quality one. I'm not seeing anything else here. Hate Blade's not good enough for that black splash to really be under consideration. I do have a Dismal Backwater, which does help me to get my black count up, but I don't think it's quite as good as the burn away. Like, burn away still kills something in the same way that the Crackling Doom does. Almost nothing they have is going to have a toughness bigger than 6. So I'm going to stick with that for now, and hopefully I'll get some more fixing later. So, burn away. Okay, here there's nothing, no card that I'm really that excited about, but that does leave me with the choice of these two. So the question here is, do you go Scoured Barrens to get a black source? Or do you go Seawater or Swiftwater Cliffs so that you don't need to play one? Well, now we get another pick that's pretty similar to that. But I do see another Cliffs, which I'm going to pick up, probably. It means that I have to pass on Disowned Ancestor, but I don't feel like that one is the kind of black card that you splash. I think when you're going with the splash color, you want it to be something that you can pick up later in the game, like a Crackling Doom when it really matters, as opposed to saying, like, oh, I've got this, oh, no, it's the first turn, I don't have my color, and if I do, it's a tap one. So I'm going to let that one go. All right, here we go. We're continuing to get more lands, but we are going to need to pick up some more cards here, because we've got, what, 20... We've got 11 and 6, so 17, so we are definitely going to need to pick up some more actual cards here, coming back around. But I've got Tranquil Cove, so I'm pretty well set for my lands. I don't know what it's actually going to end up being. Oh, I've got a Mindswipe here. That's nice. Okay, so, yeah, Mindswipe is pretty easily the pick. That's a huge late-game card, especially if you stall out, or even, you know, possibly more of a mid-game card if it takes down something crucial. I've got Set Adrift, which I wouldn't be too upset to pick up later, but Mindswipe is right in my colors, and I'm happy to pick it up. So we'll grab a Mindswipe. Alright, so now Snowhorn Rider is way outside of colors. Got Bellstrike for removal. Bitter Revelation for some card draw, but again, that's a splash color. And the Barrage, but I don't think this is a Barrage deck. Especially since I've only got a couple of things that actually trip the Ferocious. I've also got Stubborn Denial. You know, I think probably the strongest of all of these for me is the Bellstrike. Just because it is the least situational of any of these. So I'm going to pick up the Bellstrike as removal. I know that I said I had enough lands, but can you ever really have enough fixing? Ever. You know what I mean? So we've got this because nothing else is good. Wetland Sandbar is just kind of a, you know, here's my card, but, you know. I do have 19, so I'm going to need to pick up actual cards after this. No, I've got 20, because I can play this silly thing right here. If I had to, I guess I could play Disdainful Stroke, maybe a Raider Spoils, although with light creatures that's a lot less good. Rotting Mastodon is a possibility, just because it's a guy. I'll put in the sideboard for now. Let's see. Possibly Active Treason? Nothing else here really makes sense. This isn't a Valley Dasher deck. So I'll pick up the Active Treason for now. Might make... Actually, it'll probably make the main deck. Man, that is a lot. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 non-basics, which is not my record. I was playing In the Zone in Ashtabula one time when I went for the 5-color silliness deck, and I got 11 non-basics, which was spectacular. It's nice to not have a single one of your lands come into play untapped. Okay, coming around, I guess Defiant Strike just for the cycling, because I do need some cycling here. I can't Seek the Horizon, but I can play a Bad Morph. Okay, so what do we got here? Yeah, we've got enough playables. Okay, so we have a deck. I hope that that doesn't make it, but it is in my color, so there's a horrible, horrible chance it makes it in there somehow. And while I'm waiting around, let me remind you, I've got plenty of links down there at the bottom, link to the actual Team Nerd Church site. Should be something down there advertising In the Zone and Ashtabula, which I do not own, but I play at regularly. If you are looking to buy cards and don't already have a regular one, I've got a link down there that'll get you 10% off your first order. And I should also say that my best work is after the Magic is over, and you can check out the last service from this week. Don't know which one it'll be quite yet, but I can tell you it's going to be a good one. You know what? I know what I'm going to put up. I am going to put up the Christmas Eve one where I did a cosplay as a shepherd. You have not lived until you've seen me cosplay as shepherd. So check that out after all this. And if you just get disgusted with the draft of the play, you want to see something really quality, just skip there to the end. Don't click away. Don't hit the X. Just go to the end. All right, so here we go. I don't know what's taking so long in the last one, so I'll pause for you guys. Oh, never mind. So I don't think any of these guys up top make it in. I do have a Raider spoils, but I don't think they have any warriors, and it's probably not worth it to give my 14 creatures +1/+0. So let's move out the cavalry first and see that we are starting with 13 and 9, which would be 22, which is probably how many I want to play. All right, so here, I'll pause this and make it all pretty for you. Alright, so here is my deck. I have literally one black mana symbol in Crackling Doom, and that's how much I have laid out for Crackling Doom. I have double Bloodfell Caves and a Bloodstained Mire, and I'm going to have to play a Swamp for the Bloodstained Mire. So I have 4 black sources, which is a little silly for just one black mana symbol, but it is what it is. The rest of it, I have a metric ton of morphs, and half of them are terrible. And so hopefully I'll be able to play these down and just trade them off early, or confuse my opponents to the Weapon Master's Mystic of the Hidden Way that I have going on. Other than that, it just seems to be kind of a get to your 3-drop, play a whole bunch of guys, stall the board out, play around, and hostilities. Warden of the Hidden Eye, or whatever he is. What are you? Yeah, Warden of the Eye. It is not hidden. It's right out front. You can see his eye. Is he a Cyclops? No. He's a Djinn Wizard. I don't know why he just has one eye, but anyway. I got some shenanigans here. I think that this pile of cards could go somewhere. The next question is trying to figure out my mana, which is always ridiculous. Let's see. Let's start with red sources. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, kind of 5.5 red sources. So we'll get all the red sources down that way. Okay. So if you guys aren't interested in listening to my mana, just skip ahead, because that's all I'm doing for the rest of this portion of the video. So let's see. 5.5 red sources. I'm going to write this down. Then I've got 4 white sources with Barrens, Crag, and Coves. I also have 4 blue sources with my Coves and Cliffs. Like I said before, I've got 4, really 3.5. I always count the fetch lands as half, because it doesn't find a dual, so you really have to choose. So I've got 3.5 black sources. So I'm definitely going to have to add at least 1 swamp. So for now, we're not going to take Moto's recommendation. We're just going to add that 1 swamp. Let's see, what do we have left? We have 8 spots left. Okay, so now we want to divide those 8 spots up equally between the red, white, and blue, depending on what our mana cost is. We also have 2.5 minutes to do it. Alright, so total mana symbols, we've got 12 for red, 14 for white, and 8 for blue. So it's looking like a 2 blue to 3 kind of red-white ratio. So if we've got 8 left, that's perfect. So yeah, 3 red, 3 white, and 3 blue if you didn't consider what we already have. But we do have 3.5 red, so maybe tilt that a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to tilt that 1 toward white, because we do have the double white and end hostilities. So I'm going to go 4 white, 2 red, and Alright, let's see what this looks like here. Suggest lands, so 4 white. Drop that swamp off. 2 red and 2 blue. Yeah, I think that that's correct, since we've already got the red. So I'm going to add those to the deck. We're looking at 40 with 18 lands, so we shouldn't have any trouble with our colors, even though we greedily went into black as well. So I'm going to submit this deck with 42 seconds left and rock